Good Wednesday morning, Northern Michigan. In today's Pet Talk, I'm joined by Dr. Jen Clabundy from Northwood Animal Hospital, along with two adorable guests. These are two puppies, and are they brothers?
They are brothers. Yep, they're litter mates. They're 8 weeks old, lab pit mixes, and they're going to be neutered today and ready for their adoptive home. They're available through hands.
Right, so if you're looking for a new pet addition to your family, these guys are adorable.
Yeah.
And so we're talking today about, oh, they're so sweet. We're talking today about getting your pets ready for spring and the kind of maintenance things that you need to do.
Right. Spring is a great time of year, Holly. People usually get their pet into the vet every spring. And a lot of times this happens because when did you get your pet? You know, it's been a long winter, spring comes, you're ready for a puppy. So they just come due yearly in the spring for their shots. But even if they're not, it's a great time to just get them started. You want to make sure that there's a clean stool sample. You know, they haven't picked up parasites over the winter.
Right.
Intestinal worms are something that are extremely common in all animals, especially little puppies. Most of them have it, and that's something that we can catch from them. And so nobody wants worms. We don't want worms. We don't want them to have worms, so deworm them. So checking the stool sample is the first thing that we can really do.
Right, and another thing you want to keep sure that you're keeping up to date with is vaccines.
Right. And you know, this is another great time to get in. Because you have cabin fever, they have cabin fever. You want to get out into the community, go on the Vasa Trail, you know, go to the dog parks. In order to do that, you really need to make sure that your pet is protected from other pets out there. So get them all up to date on their vaccines, distemper, rabies, lepto, but don't forget bordetella, that's kennel cough.
Okay.
And if your dog is anywhere near other dogs, that includes even going to PetSmart for treats, they need to have their kennel cough vaccine.
All right, and then once we're out of spring fever here, you're going to be going outside a lot. Fleas are another issue.
You know, fleas are everywhere, and they're already out. We've seen several cases this week, and you know, a lot of people have them in their house over the winter and just don't even know it. So always keep your pet on flea prevention. The heartworm pills that we have nowadays are great because they include it, and they include an intestinal dewormer. So once a month, a pill protects them from lots of things like heartworm disease, which we're going to talk more about next segment. But also the fleas and the intestinal worms.
Right, and then blood work, which is always really important.
Just a good thing to do once a year, especially in older pets, dogs greater than 6, cats greater than 7. Just make sure that everything is good on the inside that you can't see. Liver, kidneys, blood sugar level. You know, we check for infection, inflammation. It's a good idea to just do it once a year when they come in for their spring shots.
And then real quick, this is kind of a fun thing. These guys, you know, they need a little manicure every now and then.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
So keeping their nails trimmed.
Get them nice and trimmed. And you know, a lot of vet clinics, a lot of groomers, they'll just do it for a couple dollars. You know, you bring your pet in, I need a nail trim, get it done, and you're out of there in less than 5 minutes. But that's a very, very good point because especially now, you know, the nails have not been conditioned to the outside. They're going to break easier, so keep them nice and short.
All right. Well, if you want more information on these pets, of course, we'll put all the information on our website, UpNorthLive.
Welcome back, Northern Michigan. Dr. Jen Clabundy joined us again for part 2 of Pet Talk. Again, with these two adorable pups, which they are up for adoption.
They are, yes, and they will be neutered today. They're brothers. How great would it be if they could go together? But you know, even if they don't, they're ready for adoption.
They're 8
as
weeks
of
old.
This weekend. Yes.
8 weeks old, adorable puppies. First of all, though, we're talking about heart disease in dogs and cats, both indoor and outdoor pets.
Right. People associate heartworm disease with springtime, like you were saying earlier, and that's because we need to get them on a heartworm prevention now, because once the mosquitoes come out, they are at risk of getting heartworm disease. Heartworm disease is spread by mosquitoes. It just takes 1 or 2 bites from a positive animal, and there are positive animals all over Northern Michigan. I mean, all over Northern Michigan. When I came here 8 years ago, there really weren't. They were all down south in the southern states. Now it's everywhere, and so we really need to get them on a monthly prevention. Dogs and cats. Doesn't matter if your cat is inside. I was telling you, it's actually as equally as common of getting heartworm disease in a strictly indoor cat as opposed to one who goes outside. So 50% of cats that have heartworm disease are indoor only. 50% are outdoor. So it really doesn't matter. Everyone needs to be on something.
What are some of the symptoms if you think that, you know, your pet might have some type of disease like this?
Most times you don't even know until it's too late, and that's the problem. We can find out with 2 little drops of blood, and we can tell you in 8 minutes if your pet is positive. But yeah, sometimes you don't even know, especially in cats. In cats, it only takes one worm. What happens is the mosquito bites your pet, and then it transmits worms, and those worms grow in the heart. They fill the heart with worms so that blood can't flow, and then your pet dies because of lack of blood flow and oxygen to the body. Sometimes dogs especially will cough and have some lethargy and exercise intolerance.
Okay.
In cats, most of the time, we do not know this until they die. So keeping them on something is crucial. Prevention is key here. Treatment is very costly and it's not 100% effective. So much, much easier to just pay a couple bucks a month, keep a prevention on them. Like I said
Keep the pet
earlier,
healthy.
it takes care of fleas and intestinal worms as well. So it's an all-in-one, and you really do want to keep them on it year-round.
And now is that time to do it. It's
Correct.
With the spring, you know, right here, right now, obviously dogs are going to be outside a little bit more.
Right.
You
right.
want to jump on this.
You really do, because really, once the mosquitoes come, your pet is at risk. In the winter, usually we have a little lull because the mosquitoes aren't out. But the mosquitoes don't read the books. I've had Decembers and Januaries recently where mosquitoes were out because we've had little warm-up streaks. So
Really?
it all depends. That's why keeping them on it year-round is ideal.
The best way to do it.
Yep, if you can't do that, you keep them on it spring, summer, fall. You can take a break in the winter, but then we need to retest them again every spring.
Good advice. Definitely some great ways to keep those pets healthy, both your dogs and your cats. Dr. Klabundi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Both of these puppies are available for adoption through Hands to the Rescue. We're going to put all the information on our website, UpNorthLive.com.